I know everyone asked me this too, and I just want you to respond so people stop asking me. Do you think there'll be another one? Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Rachel Interrupted. Today I'm joined with my friend and director, Jeff Tremaine. I came to LA especially to interview you. I wasn't going to do it on Zoom because I don't like Zoom.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And I haven't seen you in a couple of months, probably since the beginning of the year when we had lunch at Hugo's.
Right, near our new office. Yeah.
Yeah, and I almost hit a guy pulling out. He was on a scooter and he swerved right in front of me and then got mad at me. But he was wearing a helmet, and I thought that would have been a terrible ending to the lovely lunch we had just had. But yeah, welcome to my podcast.
Thank you.
You're on the 8th episode. So yeah.
Cool. 8. Fine.
Yeah. So yeah, today I wanted to talk to you about your new project, Nothing But a Good Time.
Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest, I was born in 87, so I learned about 80s metal as
the womb.
Yeah, as I got older and listened to 80s radio stations. I like 80s music. I just don't know much about the culture other than, there's makeup, long hair, rock and roll, sex, drugs, all the things.
Yeah.
But tell me why you decided to.
It's funny because I wasn't a huge hair metal guy.
I thought you were.
I wasn't.
Okay.
But I did the Motley Crue movie, and I did that because when I read that book, we were right in the thick of doing the early Jackass movies.
Uh-huh.
And it felt like, oh my God, this is exactly what we're up to.
Oh, wow.
Like the antics and all everything. That book is crazy.
Are you a fan of 80s new metal now?
I am a fan of 80s glam metal, whatever you want to call it, hair metal.
Hair metal.
Now I am. And it wasn't that I had nothing against it. I was just kind of more into punk rock, kind of a skater kid. So it just but I moved out here in 89, so you were 2.
Yes.
And and the Sunset Strip right here, right out in front of was crazy.
Right, the Whiskey
you
Go
avoided it no matter what because it was just the most crowded, crazy place. Like it was cool, but it was just a mob.
Nothing like what it is now.
Nothing. No.
I feel like this part of Sunset is kind of dead.
It's kind of dead now,
right?
Yeah.
Like
but
it's like a
then,
shell.
I mean, it was like the sidewalks. You couldn't walk up and down the sidewalk. There's too many people.
Oh wow.
It was wild. In the street, it was like all just cars cruising.
Yeah. That sounds cool.
It was a whole scene. Yeah. But it was too crowded.
Now it's like a shell of what it once was. That's so sad.
I know. But a lot of the clubs are still here. Like the Rainbow's still there. And the Whiskey's still there. Roxy.
Yeah. What's something like that you learned from shooting this doc?
God, I learned tons of stuff. I didn't know hardly anything. Mm-hmm. So I would just, I read the book. So it's based on a book.
Okay.
And so I read the book and I was like, wow, this is cool because it's not just the artists, right? It's the managers and the producers and everybody. Mm-hmm. So it's the whole world. And I don't know. So I just wanted to get that, because I liked doing the dirt. I got to meet Doc McGee, Motley Crue's manager, and I met Tom Zutaut, the guy who kind of discovered them on the Sunset Strip. And so I wanted to interview all them and get their stories out there.
Really cool.
So,
is there a story that stood out to you in particular?
There's a crazy one, and he just passed away. So we've had 2 people that I interviewed that passed away since.
Oh wow!
Before it even came out.
This is a good track record for you. Oh, I wonder what's going to happen after this interview.
Right. Well, yeah. So we interviewed this guy, Stephen Riley from Wasp, who was the drummer of Wasp and LA Guns, but also Jack Russell, the singer of Great White. I don't know if you know Great White. They had a couple of.
What do you know?
Once Bitten, Twice Shy. Like more, you once bitten, twice shy.
Do we have access to music?
You can.
I'll have to Google it. No, I think we should leave it in. Actually, that's going to be on the promo for the.
That guy was crazy, Jack Russell, who just passed, R.I.P. But we got him to tell these great stories. And this one story, like when he was, I think he was like 17, he was just getting started with, it wasn't Great White back then. Dante Fox. So Jack Russell before Great White, but with some of the band members of Great White, started this band Dante Fox.
Okay.
And right at the beginning, he was fucked up. Like he was into drugs, and he thought it would be a good idea to rob cocaine dealers.
Oh.
And so he would go out and with his friend or somebody would go and rob coke dealers and steal their cash. And one night he did PCP before he went to rob the coke dealer and got a little too loopy.
Wow.
And ended up like accidentally shooting a maid at this house, but it didn't, like, it was through a door, so it kind of ricocheted off.
Okay.
Went through her shoulder, and he got arrested, and it almost didn't happen for him because he was like this young guy, but he just went to like this weird
Fate.
whatever, like, yeah, like camp. He was a juvenile.
Right.
And so then he got out in 2 years and then became a rock star right after.
Oh, wow.
So
he wasn't like charged as an adult or anything.
He wasn't charged as an adult. And yeah, I guess the one lived. And he didn't even know all this happened. Like he had to hear about it in court, all the crazy shit.
Because he was too messed up to comprehend. Oh my God.
Yeah. So he tells this crazy story, and
I feel like in the 70s, like with 70s rock, like it's more like psychedelics and weed or whatever. But in the 80s, it's like cocaine. And like
almost exclusively. You know, it was like anything they could get their hands on, but there was so much coke.
I think the music reflects that too.
It probably did. Yeah, it is. Like what was fun about doing this, like this era was so outrageous. Like it seems unlikely that anything like that'll happen.
You have men with long hair wearing makeup and like tight
the scene
leather.
Out here like was, yeah, everybody had the craziest hair, the craziest kits on, and
I feel like nowadays they would just call that drag.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I mean,
basically, that's so cool. What is your favorite 80s hair band song? Do you have one now?
Man, it changes all the time. Like real like Round and Round, the Rat song.
Yeah.
Just because it's kind of the perfect like song for this era. Like but I got into Wasp. I got really into Wasp doing this. I love Motley Crue.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun.
I saw from the trailer that you interviewed Bret Michaels.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was a huge Rock of Love fan. I don't know if you ever watched
I watched
that.
Yeah,
I know you like your reality TV. Oh my God, that's one of my favorite reality shows of all time.
He was awesome. Like the fact that he gave us 4 hours. This is a huge long interview, and he's become best friends with Shauna now.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's so cool.
Yep.
Wow. Well, I was just telling you, not to switch gears rapidly, but I just saw Preston Lacy in Austin because I don't know if I'm allowed to blow his cover, but he's moving to Austin, and so is Poopies. And you reminded me of the time that I pissed Preston off.
Oh my God. This is the first day we ever shot with you.
Yeah. I don't, for those who are listening who may not know, but I had a joke in the movie where we were shooting the human, what do we call it? The human long jump.
Yeah, like it was Preston and Zach trying to jump over a row of guys. Was that in the movie? No, that was in the 4.5, I think.
Yeah. And I was playing a referee with Pontius, and you asked me who I thought the winner was, and I said the real winner is diabetes. And Preston did not like me after that until I don't know how I won him back over.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just you were the new kid. And he's like, no, you don't get to make fun of me until you've been around for a while. Or so I don't know what it was. But.
That's so funny. They were so like they were kind of hard. A couple of them were kind of hard on us, like not like, well, physically, but also like, welcoming us into the group.
They had to pay their dues pretty hard.
Of course, you know, that's so funny. But yeah, I took Preston to get barbecue, and he made a comment about how much food I ate. So I was like embarrassed. That's so funny. So how long did it take for you to shoot this doc? over the course of?
It took a little over a year, all in, like, to get it finished.
And I think Rick Kosick has told me a little bit kind of about when he started, because you guys know each other from when you were.
I know Rick since 1992.
Well, so how old were you guys back then? I don't know math like that.
I was 26, maybe.
Right. What made you want to get into directing?
I accidentally got into directing. I didn't ever have the ambition to be a director.
Really?
Yeah, no, I was just.
What did you want to be?
I was so happy just making Big Brother magazine.
Okay.
That I just felt like that's the top of the world for me, like just running my own skateboard magazine.
And then you fell into directing?
And then we made a couple videos, and I don't know, I went to high school with Spike Jones.
Yeah.
And I know him from even before that, but we used to BMX
Same grade?
together. No, he's 3 years younger than me.
I would have thought the opposite.
Well.
Don't tell him that. Maybe we'll cut that part out
anyway,
too.
After the second video, which is the first one with Johnny Knoxville, it's where he did all the self-defense tests. Like, after we got that footage, I was like, holy shit, I think we can make a TV show out of this. And I don't know what it is, but I just feel like I have all these guys that are pretty exceptional characters.
Yeah.
that I
to say the least.
We could do something with this. And Spike was into it, and Knoxville was into it. So we teamed up together. And
did you ever think it would blow up into this huge franchise cult following that it is?
You don't, because the funniest thing is when we started, it just felt like we were making a fucking skate video.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt the exact same. There's no audience. There's nobody around. We're just doing the stupid shit and making each other laugh, And then I remember, like, after we edited it, and I was watching it the premiere night at my house, the night it aired, the first episode of Jackass aired. And I was like, holy shit. And there's Pontius's ass running up Fairfax. Just seeing his bare ass, I just felt like that's a fucking win, right? If it all ends today.
Right.
My TV career ends today.
That is so funny.
I fucking win. Like, that's my friend's bare ass running up the street. So.
What a gift to all of us. Yeah. So when you shot Knoxville, was this before or after he auditioned for SNL?
Before.
And then he went to audition for SNL?
Yeah, well, so I think so we made a little sizzle tape, like, of all of the best stuff. I took stuff from BAM's CKY stuff and like all the Big Brother stuff. And it's most of the guys, but there's a couple other guys. But we put together this really hot tape. And it is before the internet, right? So this is just VHS tape flying around all through.
What's a VHS tape?
A VHS tape. So that's how you would watch things. You put it in your VCR and watch it. And so this thing got dubbed and just went around Hollywood. And I guess someone at SNL saw it from that and thought, oh, we need to get this guy. Right. So that's when they called Knoxville in for it.
And then they obviously didn't pick him to.
Yeah, I remember there was, I barely remember what it was, but they were trying to do some sort of thing with him. Like a field report, like doing shit, the interstitials or something. Yeah. But it just didn't happen.
Do you think he was bummed he didn't get
He was probably bummed. It took a while from us making that tape to us, like, this 98, I think we put the tape together, and Jackass the pilot didn't get made until the spring of 2000. Right. So it took 2 years to get the deal done and get.
Can you imagine Knoxville on SNL? That him being super corporate and just like, I couldn't imagine, like.
I think he did the right thing. Yeah. Like, but back then, I mean, honestly, he didn't have a pot to piss in. Like, he was trying to raise his little daughter, and like, so. If they had come through with money, it might have been a different story.
That's so funny. Oh my God.
But he was pretty committed to making it happen. Like, he was very much a driver of this. Come on, let's go.
What is what was your favorite Jackass bit that you've ever filmed?
Either Ryan Dunn putting the car up his ass.
Okay, I love that one.
Or Aaron putting the pubes on his face and
Terror Taxi.
Yeah, Terror Taxi. Those are pretty much my two favorites.
That one lives rent free in my head. I got to be honest. And I feel like you wouldn't, like today, like a lot of the stuff that you guys shot in, like you guys would have been canceled thrice times over. I feel like
probably, but God, it's funny. Like, because he's just going for every bad idea.
That's so funny. Aaron, was kind of like the all-star in the last movie. Everyone kind of like officially.
I know, it's so funny. I saw it like on Instagram. I just saw the bear bit. Yeah, I don't. It's funny. You make a movie, and then I don't ever see it again. Right? Like
you haven't seen it since we saw it.
I have not since you do the whole press run, and I'm seeing it so many times editing. So it's not that I haven't seen it a million fucking times.
Yeah.
It's just once you put it out there, I never go back.
I feel that.
Like and so, but I'm just swiping through Instagram, and all of a sudden, Aaron and the bear thing. So I watched. I'm like, oh my God, that was fucking gnarly. Like, because we don't know what's going to happen. You can have a captive bear and hope for the best, but like it doesn't know Aaron, and we're putting food all over his dick.
Yeah. I remember like when I came to set one day, and this was like, I wasn't, I don't know which, maybe it was the hockey, whatever they were shooting at Aaron's balls, but he comes in and he's like, you have to a group of us, you have to see these bruises. And like, that was like my first time seeing
that was
Aaron.
Him earning. I mean, he went through hell. Like, honestly, because we shot, that was like 5 days of hell on his balls and everything.
I've never seen like a human bruise like that. It was
the pogo stick was
that's what it was.
Gnarly.
That's
like,
what it was right after
because that just went down weird and kind of pushed the cup out of the way and just smashed. Luckily didn't smash a ball, but it landed on his skin, right? And just smashed the skin to the ground.
Yes.
So he had this like blood blister around his ball sack.
It was literally,
but it would have ruptured his nut for sure if it got his nut under there.
And he was still able to have a child after that, which is a test of science, a testicle of
science.
Exactly. So
we do a lot of science.
It really is science and art.
I've learned all about gravity doing this. Like I'm pretty good at predicting that's going to fall there and it's going to go to there and that's where it's going to stop. Yeah,
exactly. That was one of the craziest times of my life. I forgot to bring it, but I had they were selling lollipops with scorpions in it. I left it in my bag for 6 months and I was going to bring it to you today, but I left it.
Funny thing is we don't really show, like, you got hit by like 3 different kinds of scorpions.
It's true. And the thing is, okay, so like I try not to read the comments, but I did for a while. And so I was reading the comments and like, some of the Jackass fans are not good with change. Who's good with change? No one is. But I'm walking into this very popular franchise that's used to the OG cast. And, I coming in as a woman, which is like, a lot of these fans have never touched a woman. And so I get a lot of feedback. They'll be like, she barely did anything. And I feel like a lot of these people don't realize I got the same amount of screen time as I think all the other guys, the new cast did. Right. And then like, what also people don't realize is like, we shot with, like you said, multiple scorpions, and we shot the taser, 2 different types of tasers multiple times. Yeah. And someone made a comment about how the taser is different in the shot, but that's because we shot with 2 different types of tasers, right. And the current was stronger in the second one that we shot. Right. Even though you lied to me and said.
And same with the scorpion.
Yeah, that was crazy because
the gnarly scorpion was that
tiny one.
The littler one was
that hurt so bad. That was probably I would say like period pain, and then the scorpion on the lip are some of the worst pain I've ever felt.
I've never had a scorpion sting me in the lip.
No, have you been stung by scorpions?
I got stung on the hand when we did Pontius's thing with one of the big black scorpions.
Those ones,
they're not as bad.
Mild. No. I would do that again in a heartbeat.
But that little one, that little yellow one.
Yeah, that was and And what's crazy is I have a picture of the video of like you could see like my pulse and my
really?
lip pulsating after that. But I was surprised my lip didn't blow up more.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just not as allergic to scorpions as I thought I was.
Well, who knew?
But
when we're shooting that, you never know what's going to make it and what's not. You saw how it works, right? We just throw a bunch of shit against the wall and
see what sticks. Right? Yeah, I love that. People
screen time. You never know. Like, who knew Aaron was? We didn't go into it thinking, you know what, Aaron, you're going to take this movie over. Be the star.
Yeah, I mean, it was Aaron's time to shine.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember you guys calling me and asking me if I would be comfortable. Well, initially, you guys wanted to know if I would do the snake bit.
What's the snake bit?
What Poopies did, where he took the snake to the face.
Yeah.
And I said I would do it. And then you guys decided that you would rather fuck up Poopy's face than my face if something were to happen.
Because he was more scared.
Oh, is that why? Yeah. I would have been scared in the moment.
Like, he was so scared. Yeah, that's what makes it so.
Dude, I would have been very scared. Okay. I act like all confident or whatever.
I just checked that box in my head.
No. Okay, here's the thing that I've learned: don't ever tell Jeff and Knoxville what you're afraid of, and also don't give them your address. I had Knoxville showed you what he got all of us as gifts. Oh, it's a butt plug.
Did you see the Poopies video?
I gotta be honest, I did not click to watch it, but what did show up was so Poopies, Knoxville in the group chat was like, we need to send Jeff a video of us. So Knoxville sent us all butt plugs of Jeff. They're great.
It's my head.
It's his head. It's pink. I want one in every color, by the way. And Knoxville wanted for Jeff's birthday to film a video of not me, but he said Matt as if, but and Poopies, we kind of egged him on because I feel like before Poopies got into a relationship, he would have done it, no question. But now that he's like wifed up, he has standards all of a sudden and morals, So he ended up filming the video, but he also showed us a picture of the toilet paper that was after that. And I'm sitting at the DMV when I received this and I'm looking around.
Yeah, I'm not on that text chain.
You're not. And I'm like, if only the people in this room knew what I'm staring at right now. Like it was way too early to see that. And the weird part is I'm so desensitized from you guys now. I was still hungry for lunch.
The funny thing too is like, if you watch the first movie, like Steve-O was so against putting anything in his butt. And now he's the first one to just like, hey, look at this.
See, I guess you get gayer with age.
Well, yeah, the bar just keeps going down of what you're willing to do. Like we just devolve. Like
I really miss you guys. That was like some of the best times of my life. Getting hurt with you guys.
It's fun torturing you guys. It just sucks when it spills over to me. But
you're fine.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
I don't get too bad. But
honestly, I'm really proud of myself that I didn't throw up once in that entire movie.
Are you not a puker?
I am. But for whatever reason, I was just determined not to throw up in front of you guys.
It's hard not to throw up on the Zach sushi bit, Zach sashimi.
I just used my...
That was pretty gross.
It is one of the grossest things I've ever... Yeah, there was like a hair in my fish. It was... I was like, I just got to commit to the bit, just swallow it, and like watch everyone around me throw up.
I don't even know where we got the sushi from, but...
Probably like Ralph's sushi.
That's the best was though, like we shot that during COVID, right? And so we have to go through so much. We're like one of the first movies back during the pandemic, and there was all this safety protocols. Like you got to wear your mask, can't be 6 feet from each other. We get to set, and like, all right, take your mask off, and go and just start licking.
Yeah, he's sweating
sushi out of his crack.
There's like all these like liquids on. Like it was honestly that I think someone said it was the grossest piece of cinema in history ever.
It was bad. That was a bad day. Like,
and then Zach found a piece of sushi when he went to shower later.
Yeah, like a day later. Or something. Like,
we should have made Aaron eat that one.
Oh God. Yeah, he texted that picture of it's this shriveled up little piece of yellow.
Did you throw up?
I didn't throw up, but I was gagging during that bit.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are week.
Certain things hit me weird. Yeah, most time I don't. Like, I'm pretty good at, like, you can be throwing up and I'm fine.
Lance always throws up.
Rick throws up too.
And then he threw up in his mask.
I know. That was what pissed me off about the mask, because you couldn't see.
I know.
Other than it would just keep that vomit nice and tight up against his face.
Oh my God, that was so trauma. Like, it lives rent free in my head.
He threw up on the pogo stick nut.
Yeah.
When he saw Aaron's destroyed nutsack. So
I'm still like traumatized by that movie in the best way. But yeah, I mean, just to set the record straight to all my haters, I never said no to anything.
You never did. I'll vouch.
And I volunteered for everything.
Which makes it less likely for me to, you got to know, like, I got to find the things you really don't want to do. Oh. That's when I like going on.
Do you think you have any idea?
I could find it. The more I get to know you, the more I,
oh my God.
Solve it.
That's so crazy.
But yeah, definitely, you don't want to. Yeah, hey, I'll do that. That's not who I'm going to use.
Okay, well, but my thing is I'm coming in. I'm new. I feel like I have to prove myself and earn my stripes. And also, I'm a woman. So it's like, I feel like there's certain things that people would just assume I wouldn't be tough enough or be willing to put myself through. And it's like, that's.
It was funny, because we haven't shot with many girls all together. Like, the first day we shot with you, I had to get your permission because we were going to squish Pontius's dick in between the plexiglass. So, hey, listen, are you cool with just hanging out while we do this?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no problem.
Of course. I'm perfectly comfortable right here.
That was weird.
Was it?
Well, wasn't it? Like, just the fact that your dick can get smashed completely flat.
Again, science. That's part of the science part of the movie. There's, Jackass taught me there's certain things that the body is capable of that I never knew is possible. And that was certainly one of those moments.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And then, well, the best part was after, I think it was Dave started shitting.
Well, that's what he does.
But like, it was just a lot of things happening in the same moment, okay, I know everyone asked me this too, and I just want you to respond so people stop asking me, do you think there'll be another one? I feel like I know the answer because I
don't know the answer, to be honest. Like, because I've said,
but that was the answer that I was expecting you to say.
I honestly have no idea. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, because this one came up fast it was no way until then. This one was Knoxville wanted to do it. And that's the first time I haven't gone to him and said, hey, let's do it.
Yeah.
This one was him coming to me and being like, hey.
He had the itch.
So.
Okay.
But.
Is there certain things that, that because of COVID, I mean, obviously there were certain things that you would have wanted to do, but we couldn't because of COVID? Any like out in public shit. Like, even travel. Like, we shot that whole movie in LA. I like to get out of town. Where are you allowed to say where you would have wanted to shoot it, or like?
Well, I would like to go to a variety of places, right? Like, so just it feels when we're all right on top of each other, like in the hotel, like that's when it's just the whole, like, this was a weird movie to make because for the first time I'm shooting during the day and then I'm coming home and having lunch or dinner with my kids and talking about our days and like, oh, I had a weird day.
Yeah. But also we're getting like tested just so we can go and like do nasty
it was
things
so
with
strange.
each other.
So this one was so strange because it like, there wasn't as much hanging out. Right. It was a lot of just show up and let's go do this stupid thing. And luckily the energy was just so great. I think a lot of you guys had a lot to do with that too. This new infusion of like, just.
Yeah. For some reason it worked.
It was awesome, but it was because it was so hard like to just put all that just to figure it out, like to shoot during that time. Cause we were making it up. Like everyone was making up how to survive this fucking pandemic and shoot a Jackass movie,
which is so crazy because it's like you guys, it's like safety last, but it was actually safety first
Right.
before we did
Right.
safety last. It was so bizarre. Like it was because, you know, growing up when I would watch Jackass, there was nothing safe about it. There's no protocol, you know,
No,
like it's
like if Knoxville got knocked out by that bull, and as soon as he came to, we put a mask on him
Right.
and threw him in the ambulance.
That's what I'm saying.
So stupid.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it was a crazy time. But we even shot like some hidden camera stuff out in the public, like him getting blobbed up as Irving. You were in that,
Yeah.
right? And you saw it. That was so hard, right?
Yeah.
Because we had to.
Well, we had to lie to people and say they were, it was for like a Craigslist or like whatever.
We hired people to be in that furniture store.
Right. But
off the street. And then
anyone who knows that if you're working like a Craigslist job or whatever, like they're not, the last thing they're going to do is test you for any, like,
right.
They're not testing your pee. They're not testing your IQ.
So we had to test everybody before they were on camera.
I would have been suspicious right off the bat.
We got some people that had no idea.
Right. That makes sense though.
So
what reality shows are you watching right now?
Well, my wife and I watch a lot of Real Housewives.
Yeah, I know this.
The Utah and Orange County. What I'm not watching much right now.
Really?
I'm dying to watch the Chimp Crazy. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've seen the advertisement.
Dying to watch
for it.
that. I know it's gonna be right up my alley. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But
I hear it's really good.
It's gotta be good. I mean, Tiger King with chimps.
Right. Obsessed. I ran into, I think it was when I forget, it was during COVID. I ran into what's the lady who murdered her husband? Carol Baskin. Carol Baskin at the airport, and I knew it was her because she had a leopard mask. She was wearing cat stuff.
Right,
like it was
right.
and I was so starstruck. Like I was like,
that's awesome. Yeah. I would have I was so mad because my wife's from Oklahoma, right? And so we would drive by that fucking GW Tiger Park, and I'd be like, we should go there. We should go there. And nope, we're just going to visit her family.
You never went?
Never fucking went.
Oh my God.
I could have been right there.
Right.
Seen all the little tigers.
Oh my
Maybe
gosh.
seen one of the guys get his arm ripped off, you know?
Missed out.
It's funny because we would work with not people exactly like that. There's on Wild Boys, we would encounter some of that out there, right? And we learned too that chimps are the scariest animals.
They are?
Chimps are the scariest animals.
Because they can get mad?
And when they get mad, they're violent and they rip your dick off and bite your fingers off.
We should get Aaron in the ring with one of them.
There have been a number of jealous chimp ideas written. We just haven't executed yet.
Chimping ain't easy.
But because I remember this guy. So when we did Wild Boys, this old man and his wife had a pet chimp, and it got too big for them, so they gave it up to the sanctuary. Mm-hmm. And on its birthday, they went to celebrate its birthday with the chimp, right? So the chimp was having birthday cake, and one of the other chimps at this got super jealous and broke out of his cage, ran around and attacked this old man, bit all his fingers off, ripped his dick off, ripped his face off. They were fucking gnarly.
How did he do, he reached into it?
I don't know. I feel
like you had time to run away at that point.
No, they're quick too, man.
Really?
And this was an old man.
Oh my God.
But I don't know what the facility was, how it got, but I mean, they're so violent.
But I just always assumed chimps are nice, lovable. They're always sitting on white people's laps.
But they get big. We were in Russia, right after this happened, and we were shooting at this Russian circus, and this guy brought out all these chimps, and one ran into behind us, and oh fuck, and then this huge one came out. It was jumping and banging the ground, and we were just this thing's gonna fucking kill us. We were all set. One of us is getting our face ripped.
You guys have never worked with a chimp, right?
Never really worked with a chimp. No, we've had when we did the first Jackass movie, one of the guys who we did this thing with a tiger, he brought a chimp in, and we were having a meeting, and it came and sat at the meeting table. It just made sense.
That's hilarious.
But we didn't even film it. He's just sitting there.
I wish you guys would have filmed
doing a creative meeting with a chimp.
So funny.
We shot chimps with Wild Boys, actually. The skateboarding chimp. So.
Wow. What's your favorite animal that you've shot with?
man, maybe the cassowary was pretty cool. Did you ever see that? The giant, like, ostrich, like, bird that attacked Pontius?
Is it in Wild Boys?
It's in Wild Boys.
I can't remember that one. What happened to him?
So they're gnarly. They run and they jump and attack you with their feet. Like, they have these long
Talons?
claws that will just rip you to shreds. But they're like ostrich size, so they're big and they're aggressive. They would run up and jump and karate kick and try to scrape you with their claws. It was scary. So.
Because so PETA seems to have a problem with Jackass, which is, I guess their point is they feel like I feel like they're like we're not giving animals consent to hurt humans or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's only the humans that are getting hurt. The animals are always treated with respect. Like,
right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always thought that was hilarious. It's like, no, they're getting the opportunity to.
One of the bits I regret that we never got right because it was a funny bit.
Which one?
This was for Jackass 3. We shot it, and we had this giant like balsa wood dick, and put Chris's dick inside of that, and put little worms on his dick.
Oh my god!
And then had a woodpecker land on the wooden dick and poke a hole through it, and then start trying to eat the worms off his real dick.
And it never worked?
We got it to work, but we didn't get the bit to work. We kind of gave up on it too quick. So I think it's in Jackass 3.5.
Okay.
But it's not as funny as it was. Like, the idea is funnier than what we got. And it should have been an awesome bit.
Right. I was bummed that the electric eel didn't work. I thought for sure science would.
And it's weird because those things are unpredictable. Like, we had one in Brazil that was shocking the shit out of all. Like, our cameraman got lit up. Pontius and Steve-O were holding hands and they got lit up. And I mean, it worked. It got Wee-Man pretty good, but
yeah. Yeah, I was hoping there would be more of a.
Hoping one of them would die.
Yeah. No, that would be iconic, but also terrible.
Right.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen that work out. What is I wish you probably can't say, but what's something that you've always wanted to shoot? But you probably won't say because you're gonna want to save it for.
Yeah, there was this one idea Preston had that was pretty gross. It required him getting plastic surgery. And then we had it lined up, but it requires a pretty, like.
What kind of plastic surgery?
Not perfect plastic surgery to work with us on that. And, a weight loss kind of surgery. And so maybe we'll do that one day. Who knows? I'll keep it alive.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a secret.
It's a really gross idea. So that'll haunt me for like forever. I'm gonna be thinking about that one. If it happens, I'll tell you about it off camera. But
oh God. Okay. So you had Steve-O on Nothing But a Good Time.
Yeah.
Did he come here? Or did you go to?
He was here. He came to us, and he was a super fan. He was a Motley Crue super fan. So I wanted to hear from a fan, and he was so funny. He just told the perfect story of meeting Motley Crue and how much they influenced his life and really the whole 80s.
Right. Which was probably
just sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Right.
He wanted to be a rock star so bad he just didn't have any talent. Right.
Oh, is that true?
Well, I don't think he wanted to play music, but he wanted to have sex
the lifestyle.
And drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And liked rock and roll, but didn't want to play it. So.
Yeah, it's crazy because since we've last seen each other, I have stopped smoking weed. I've gotten, I wouldn't say completely sober, but
and how is it? Is it hard?
It's not hard because I don't miss being high, but it's more like I'm very alert.
It was kind of your identity for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I can't have any regrets on it because it weirdly led me to wherever I am at. But I just imagine like what I could have accomplished if I wasn't so high. But I think I did pretty well, like,
with fine.
Yeah. But I'm really loving this new chapter that I'm in. Like some of my fans have had a problem. I have weird fans. I feel like they like hate follow me.
Yeah,
like,
why do you, like that's weird.
Well, you know, like you said, like weed was like my identity for you know, pretty much all my 20s, and before I got into comedy I was working in dispensaries and things like that, and I built up a whole, you know, weed persona or whatever. But a lot of them have like turned on me. But like Steve-O was really cool because when I posted that I quit smoking weed, he reached out to me and was like really supportive, and
That's
I just
cool.
thought that was really cool.
Well, same with him, right? Like, yeah, being fucked up was a big part of his identity.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
Yeah. So I just like I really appreciated that. And yeah, my comedy's gotten a lot better. People are noticing that.
I've only been high a few times and I get super dumb when I was high. Like it's really.
Who have you smoked with? Anyone?
Wee Man and I were on the bus with Willie Nelson and he got us super high.
Wow.
Knoxville set that up. And
did Knoxville smoke?
I don't remember. He probably did. I don't remember.
Yeah. He's not a smoker.
He's not a smoker either. Like yeah, and I don't like smoke.
Yeah.
Willie Nelson, you know what I mean?
Of course. Well, it's like if Bob Marley,
right?
You know. Yeah.
I was also on a bus with Snoop.
Really?
Just me and him. We were at WrestleMania. I was working on a like a prank show with the WWE, and I was on Snoop's bus, and he had a joint. He was smoking, but he never offered. I would have smoked with him.
Really? I don't think he I feel like he doesn't pass.
Yeah, he didn't. So thank God. But I got a little bit of a contact high, but I didn't get it.
Yeah. I mean, I just like, you know, I just remember like whenever I would smoke, especially at night or if I'm at a comedy club or whatever, I would just get to a point where I just like stare. Like that's all I have. That's
what happened. Like, yeah, when Wee Man just was, he went on and filmed a thing with Preston and he couldn't even talk.
Oh,
and I was just like, exactly. I couldn't like just locked in on whatever. Just keep breathing. Yeah.
You have to remind yourself of like normal human function. No, I just, I'm really enjoying this clarity. And just I'm more sharp. And I just plan to continue to.
So when's the big comedy special coming up? Lock it down.
Well, I'm 8 years in. This October was my 8-year comedy anniversary. But again, like I had 2 years where I wasn't doing comedy. I was filming Jackass, which is not comedy. But it wasn't stand up. Like, although we did have Poopies tried to
your line on Preston was pretty stand up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing is like, you know, that's why I was happy because when you casted me, I was only 3 years into stand up, which is like crazy for anyone to book anything when you're three years in comedy. It's like very rare. But I've always been quick. I've always, you know,
you were great in the peanut gallery. Just throw zingers
that's
out there.
like, I'm a great peanut gallery person. And, but you know, again, like the weed would just slow me down. And now that I'm on stage, like, I'm just like ready for any moment, any heckler, anything goes my way. I actually, I'm sober, but I was doing a joke about weed and I repeated the joke, but I just played it off like I was seeing if the audience was paying attention. But I'm like, how am I still making these mistakes? Like, and I still take pictures, like the pictures people take of me I still look high. Like, I think I'm just perma forever. Like I just, you know, the residual effects are, but yeah, it's really cool. Like we, you know, I still keep in touch with the guy. Like I still talk to Zach. We shot the pilot, for his ghost show. And, you know, it'll be interesting when Poopies moves to Austin.
Have you seen Poopies lately?
Pray for Austin. The last time I saw him was at his engagement party and he's, you know, sober and he goes by Sean now. Which I
is he not allowed to be called Poopies anymore?
No, again, like I'm not. That's not like I'm. He's always Poopies to me. You know, like when he has children, I'll be like, your father Poopies. You know, like it's not. I will refuse to call him. I still talk to Dark Shark. I think I saw. Is he going to be there tonight?
I think so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I think I still talk to him every so often.
He's the best.
Yeah. So So Knoxville was in Austin probably like less than a year ago, and I was in the airport and I run into him in the airport, and he's in total incognito. He's got the hat on, and he spotted me, and we started chatting, and it was because he was visiting Madison, and the gate attendant who somehow recognized me, but not from Jackass. He recognized me from like Kill Tony, like my early days on Kill Tony, because he's like a huge Kill Tony fan. He comes up and he gives me pre-boarding because he's like, I know, I like recognize you from Kill Tony, blah blah blah. I was like, oh, that's funny. And like here I am, like getting a better boarding position than Knoxville. I was like, see you later, peasant. Like
And how did you run into him at the airport? That's so weird.
Well, because like he was visiting his daughter, so it was just like
so weird.
Like, and then I mean, that's the thing about Knoxville. You'll like Zach or he played a prank on Zach because I think.
Oh yeah, his daughter saw Zach at the mall.
Yes,
and called him.
Yes, he's everywhere. So
he had his daughter, who Zach did not know that was his daughter, and her friends fucked him at the mall.
He's all knowing, all seeing. Like that's you can't. You think you're safe, and you're not safe in the world. So
yeah, Zach's been coming over. We've been working out together.
Yeah,
he's skipped a couple.
Oh no, we gotta see. That's where bullying needs to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Bullying is healthy.
So yeah, Cossack's all like, let's do surprise workouts with Zach, where we show up and just.
You guys are inviting him out to eat, but really you're just like
just showing up at his house and he's asleep.
I would love to see like a fit Zach, but I wonder if that'll make him less funny.
I know. I always worry about that, right? Like, especially when they get buff. You know, that's the word.
No one likes a buff. No one likes a buff dude. No, buff, like in a funny way.
Yeah, it's not. Especially if you were one thing and then you became buff. Like,
I mean, like Jonah Hill got in like super like fit shape, and I'm just like, I can't look at you anymore. I don't care what you have. You're a douche now. Oh. I couldn't. I hope that. I'm just kidding. I would love to work with him.
Right.
Not a douche. But yeah, I think it would be funny. Like I wish we could do like a get like a AI to show us what Zach would look like, with a 6-pack.
It'd be weird, like because his face will change.
Yeah, he's gonna be a completely different person one day.
Soon we're gonna work him out.
Oh, I hope not. I hope he doesn't become douche Zach. But yeah, he's
kind of rad though if he was all just Hollywood.
I kind of would. Yeah, he becomes like a super hot guy, like influencer, taking pictures with his. I mean, he still takes pictures with his shirt off, but Zach has been doing really well in comedy, and he's been getting like stronger with his jokes and his material, and he really like is forming his voice on stage, which is really cool. I have a date coming up in January in San Diego, and I think he's gonna do that date with me, so that'll be
how's
fun.
The scene in Austin? You moved to Austin because like
for comedy,
a bunch of comedians moved there, like Rogan and Tony.
Yeah, Rogan, Tony, Shane Gillis is out there, Tom and Christina are out there, a bunch of like really good comics,
Tom Segura
and Christina Pizitsky. And it's just become this like mecca for stand-up. And we made the decision about a year ago because it's just like so hard in LA to try and develop as a comedian, because like everyone is super famous, and like a lot of people use stand-up as a means to get famous versus just trying to get good at the art. So like, you're there competing with like reality stars and like, for stage time. And it's not really like that in Austin. And Rogan opened up his own club down there, the Mothership. And it's really kind of just like the scene has just exploded.
So it's kind of new comedy there, or was there always
there was a scene, but
it's a city in a college town that of course would probably have one little comedy.
There's like old Austin, and there's a bunch of like clubs and venues that have existed, before Rogan came down. But because of Rogan, he's just kind of created this comedy tourism that's been happening. And Zach's come down a couple times, and I think that it was the right move for me because, as like I said, when I when I started filming with you guys, like I was only 3 years into stand up. And then when the movie came out, I was given a bunch of opportunities to headline. And like, in a sense, obviously I'm very grateful for those opportunities, but I was like thrown to the wolves very quickly. And I feel like I've kind of had to like work backwards to move forwards now, which I like, you know, I'm grateful people come out to see me. I have a following because of Jackass and they'll buy tickets, but I've really just like, I take, you know, my stand up, learning the art of it very seriously so that like, you know, I can shoot a special when I want to do it when I'm 10 years in.
Right.
So I'll give myself like 3 more years and then I'll probably put something out.
It's interesting, huh? Because you think you think you can just get up there and like, oh, I don't think that way, but it doesn't seem like you're working at it, right? It just seems like this, you're just naturally trying to get up there and let it rip. But you really do have to kind of find your voice, right? And find your delivery. Oh, I watched Steve-O doing. I watched him from when he was just started off with his like wrestling voice to now he's worked it down to a much more nuanced.
Yeah.
And really him is cool. Like,
I really like I've opened for Steve-O a couple times and I really look up to him because he has his own voice. He does his own like kind of like one man style show, which is like really cool. And he's not worried about like trying to be like anyone else. He's like, I'm just going to be Steve-O and I'm going to put out what I want to do. And like his audience just eats it up and it's really cool. And
yeah, it's cool. It's been fun to watch him from my perspective, just from where he started to where he like he's definitely evolved a lot.
I think he should have kept up his rapping career.
Oh God.
Can you imagine if he like put all that effort into stand up just into becoming like,
I don't know how much effort he put into his rapping, like, to be clear. Like, he had a hot moment.
Yeah.
Steve-O is driven, right? But he was just so fucked up when he was a rapper that he was driven, but he was also blown out of his mind at that time. So
it's when you go to you've been to obviously Steve-O shows, but what I like is how gnarly they are, because like a lot of like stand-up, you know, comedians, like it's just very like, okay, you're at a comedy show, here are my jokes, like, you know, consume them. But like at Steve-O shows, like people have to have buckets because they throw up.
Dude, I went to his big show in London and like 5 people passed out.
Yeah.
Like,
People
like,
pass out.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I think that's
and he tells you it's going to happen. I'm like, oh, it's not going to happen tonight.
Yeah.
And then boom, boom, you can hear him thump. Like,
yeah, it's so cool.
It's a weird.
I think that's like so like punk rock and cool. Like I hope to like,
never heard of that.
I hope to like have that effect on people.
Yeah, probably the show I was at, I think 4 people dropped.
Yeah. That's so cool.
4.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've never passed out by seeing something, right? Like,
I know. I can't imagine. I mean, that really speaks to his content and his material. Cause like, you know, it just shows like the effect that like comedy and, you know, gnarliness can have on a person. So.
Yeah. And some were like older people. Like, it wasn't like they were super hammered and it wasn't.
Can you imagine being on a date with like a guy and like he just starts throwing up? Like I would be like, I can't see you anymore. Like, I would have to, break up with that person. But yeah, I'm so happy I got to be a part of,
Has your dad busted anyone famous?
He, famous. Well, he's, in the process of prosecuting, I guess that would be the term, Tupac's killer.
Right. I called you or I texted you right. I was hungover in St. Louis watching TV and all of a sudden your dad comes up. Yeah. And we got the guy who shot Tupac. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That was crazy. That's still ongoing. I think the judge just denied him. I think he was like trying to get a new trial or something and the judge was like, no. And then my sister actually, when she was a prosecutor, I believe she prosecuted Tiger King, who came through the court at one point.
What?
Yeah. So she's a judge now.
She's a judge.
Yeah. And she told me the other day that this kid, because she's in municipal court, so it's only jail. It's like a year and under. This one kid showed up with like a blunt in his pocket and she asked him to like throw it out. Like she's already like going through the craziest stories and people, and she's having a good time. She's really good at it. So
that's cool.
You have
a gnarly family.
I know. And I'm over here just kissing scorpions and licking tasers, trying to make it out here.
Just dragging the family's name through mud.
Someone had to. Someone had to. So when does Nothing But a Good Time come out?
September 17th.
At what time?
It comes out on the East Coast. I just found this out. It comes out on the East Coast at midnight. So if you wanted to out here, you could probably watch it at 9:00 evening on the 16th.
Paramount Plus. So you gotta get that subscription, you guys.
Yeah.
I think I just renewed my subscription.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So just in
time. So you
time.
can watch yourself on the movie and then go.
Well, I have it on I have 4.5 on Netflix. So that's cool. I can watch that whenever I want. But yeah. You
just wake up one day. I feel like watching me.
Yeah. Well, sometimes when I put it on, or when I'm on Netflix, the main title card will be of me. So that's cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I love that. Is there anything else to say on Nothing?
Sean, anything else we need to say? She fell asleep.
Did we touch on all the points?
Oh, look, you got a scorpion tattoo. We mentioned that.
Is it okay that we talked a little bit about Jackass?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
I would hope you do. I don't know if Steve people know like why he didn't get the food.
Should we take that part out?
Maybe take it out.
Okay, Mark is editing it as we
do it. Mark, get it out.
Oh, okay.
Sign up and get your first week.
Did you know that if you download the Paramount Plus app, you could sign up and get your first week free?
You can watch Nothing But a Good Time.
And Jackass Forever.
And
I don't know.
And I think Wild Boys is on there.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is there an MTV app anymore? There's nothing going on there. Yeah. So we have all that. Okay. Well, thanks for coming by, Jeff. It was so good to see you.
You too.
Yeah.
It's great.
We'll have to do this again.
I want to go to Austin.
Can you come visit us, please? I'll take you to Terry Black's The Best Barbecue. We'll go see Poopies do a stand-up set.
Yeah.
And
Sean.
Sean.
And now on stage, Sean.
People will be like, "Who's Sean?" Like, yeah, that would be fun. Maybe I'll get Zach to come out, and we'll have our little reunion there.
All right.
Cool.
That was awesome. Thanks.
Hell yeah.